An Israeli delegation is in the Sudanese capital, Khartoum, to discuss the normalization of ties between the two countries. The trip was part of an exchange of visits between Sudan and Israel, and it reportedly involved discussions on reaching and signing a normalization deal on the back of the Abraham Accords, first signed back in 2020. So for more reaction and insight, it's a pleasure to welcome Asher Fredman, Director for Israel at the Abraham Accords Peace Institute, joining us from Jerusalem. Asher, thank you so much for your time, and a welcome change to have some good news. It sounds like a major breakthrough here between Israel and Sudan again. Talk us through the significance of today's visit to Khartoum and what it means for the stability and prosperity of this region.
You're absolutely correct. Sudan did sign the Abraham Accords on January 6, 2021, but we've seen relatively little development of relations since then. I was in Khartoum and in various areas in Sudan several months ago, and it just jumps out at you the potential for cooperation on food, on water, on health, on entrepreneurship between Israel and Sudan. So the announcement of taking these relationships forward to the next level, to normalization and a widening of cooperation, is very significant for Israel in the region and certainly for Sudan as well.
Now, this, of course, is also on the back of the Chad embassy being inaugurated in Ramat Gan today, and that was a surprise development. Another feather in the cap for this new government just 1 month in. Talk us through the different sectors that will see future cooperation down the line.
Absolutely. And there's no doubt that Prime Minister Netanyahu, Foreign Minister Eli Cohen, Director General of the Foreign Ministry, who has quite a lot of experience, are very committed to making this a centerpiece of their efforts. In fact, I had the opportunity to discuss this with Foreign Minister Cohen yesterday. As I mentioned, Sudan, for example, used to be a net food exporter. Now, today, Sudan is a country facing major food security challenges. With cooperation with Israel and with other Abraham Accords partners, whether that's Morocco, whether that is our partners in the Gulf, Sudan can once again become part of the solution to global food challenges. Secondly, and this is true both in Sudan and Chad, you have a young generation in these countries that is looking to innovation, to technology, to startups as a way of jumpstarting the economic development of their countries, of creating high-quality employment in their countries. And certainly cooperation with Israel in these areas will be highly beneficial. And of course, we can't forget the threat from Iran, from other radical Islamic groups, which create a common interest between all of our countries in terms of countering these extremist groups and creating an ecosystem of moderation and stability in the region.
Now, as you say, expanding the circle of peace has been a major campaign message for Benjamin Netanyahu. Saudi Arabia is the big fish to catch, so to speak. Talk of Oman also working on deals behind the scene. Who do you see as being next on board in terms of the actual Abraham Accords?
Certainly Saudi Arabia and Oman are very, very important. But as you mentioned earlier, if we look just at the map of Africa, so between Sudan and Chad, you have Niger, Mauritania, Mali, and then to the east, Somalia. There are some very important countries in Africa who we do not have relations with and who are certainly potential candidates for joining the Abraham Accords. One of the important things that we must do is demonstrate the benefits of peace and normalization with Israel. For example, we are working on a large-scale agricultural project in Sudan together with other Abraham Accords partners. And I believe that once these countries see the benefits of peace and normalization, that will certainly increase the chances of them joining the circle of peace.
Well, certainly fascinating times in this region. Appreciate your response and your insight. Asher Fredman, Director for Israel at the Abraham Accords Peace Institute, speaking to us from Jerusalem. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.